Coming to you live from the NowMedia newsroom.
Lots of moves there from John Rustad here. Macklin McCall has been given Eleanor Sturco's old job, so Macklin gets that critic role, and then Gavin Dew loses some responsibilities in the Rustad reshuffle there, as he's McCall. Macklin McCall will be in the studio here at, I think we have Macklin in at 1 o'clock. So if you want to listen to what Macklin McCall has to say, we're going to have him in here. He's going to talk about his new duties, and he's also talking about the stuff that's going on with crime across Canada. And then Harman Bangu, the former transport critic, has been given half a Dew's previous job, and he'll be the critic for jobs and economic development. So a lot of critic roles there. Like, holy cow, I don't even go through the list. I'm sure we'll have this up on Kelowna Now later today, but a lot of critic roles there.
You can't help but think that this is purely speculation. I don't have inside info, but this is maybe John Rustad kind of chopping down the tall poppies, so to speak. Because Gavin Dew, like Eleanor Sturco, was a former BC Liberal, and like Eleanor Sturco, was making a lot of noise and getting a lot of attention. Yeah. And now he's a smaller poppy. And John Rustad it remains the giant towering sunflower that looks down on the BC Conservative caucus.
We've interviewed Harman Bangu in the past. I think he's also a tall poppy, but I think maybe they gave him something just to kind of keep that poppy in check.
I think he's a very loyal poppy.
But he's pointing out a few things, and he's actually very, very sharp guy actually. And he says 2 mansions in Burnaby, both drug labs tied to Chinese crime families. This Sam Cooper does great work. Police found pill presses, meth, MDMA, cannabis grows. These homes are financed by Canada's biggest banks. Imagine that, eh? Well, Canadians struggle to buy. The TD Bank was actually busted, and they paid billions of dollars in fines for money laundering too. They got charged in the United States. So,
there's a few of them were in on that, weren't they? I mean, it's a big scandal, that, isn't it? Especially Vancouver, which for so long has been kind of like the HQ of this sort of
and we've covered this story quite a bit too, and we've tried to get more stuff out of the CVSE. We got basically nothing, but here it is again. A semi-driver detained for impaired driving after a crash that closed the BC highway. Look at this. These people are driving 50-ton vehicles, and we've seen so many accidents now where, and we've also seen some investigative reporting where we're showing that they're handing out licenses just for cash money licenses. And I think in Ontario, they're making a few people take their license again. We're seeing it happening in California too, where they were handing out licenses to people, because in the United States, you have to be able to speak English to get a license. And that one in that Florida crash that killed 3 people, basically decapitated 3 people in Florida on a turnpike there. And that person couldn't even identify 2 of 12 signs or something. I couldn't speak English. These people are driving massive, and I watched another accident where a car was parked behind a semi-truck, and another semi-truck came in behind it and hit it and basically just accordioned the car, right? I mean, you don't have a chance, right? There's nothing, right? It doesn't matter what you're in.
Mm. Well, lest we forget the hockey players as well. That wasn't really that long ago, was it?
Blew through a stop sign in Saskatchewan, killing, so many people on that bus. This is a 66-year-old man behind the wheel of a semi, was detained at the scene for impaired driving. It's lucky that it was just that he just hit just wiped out his truck as opposed to taking a bunch of people with him.
Yeah. I mean, they are such lethal instruments, aren't they?
Yeah, and then this is again has a lot to do with in California, and in the case in Ontario. There, did we just freeze again? Did we lose Iain? Nope, he's back.
I can still hear you.
There you go.
Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here. But I mean, this is something that's serious. We've seen in Ontario too, where there's you go back through our history and you can see that where they were giving out licenses for cash money. So, but that's our show for today. It's a long one, actually. I guess we got too distracted with the lightning rod guy there.
Which couldn't resist arguing with people on YouTube.
Right, but at least we're willing to converse, whereas if you go on CBC, they won't let you converse, lightning rod. That's it, right? So.
Well, he might be able to, but somebody that disagreed strongly with the CBC line wouldn't be able to.
No. Anyway, that's our show for today. Come back tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday, last day of the week, apparently, October 3rd tomorrow. If interesting times for sure. We do thank you, and I'm back at 1 o'clock with Macklin McCall, a conservative MLA that is now taking over Eleanor Sturco's critic role. Right, he's a former RCMP member himself, as is.
He's
Eleanor.
now Big Mac, you might say.
The Big Mac, yeah, the Big Mac. All right, we got the Big Mac coming in at, and that story, you got to go read that one, or like when it gets up there on the economic winter that Canada is heading into. It's going to be a good one. All right, thank you for watching NowMedia.
We don't just report the news, we live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.